We start exercise 5.2. First question, what fraction of a clockwise revolution does the hour hand of a clock turn through when it goes from 3 to 9? What fraction of a clockwise revolution does the hour hand of a clock turn through when it goes from 3 to 9? Now we want to find out the angle turned, and it will be what fraction of the revolution. Now we have already learned that if the angle turned is 90 degree, it will be 1/4 of a revolution. If the angle turned is 90 degree, it will be 1/4 of the revolution. And if the angle turned is 180 degree, that means two right angles, it will be half of a revolution. And similarly, if the angle turned is 270 degree, that means three right angles, it will be 3/4 of a revolution. If the angle turned is 90 degree, it will be 1/4 of the revolution. If the angle turned is 180 degree, that means two right angles, it will be half of a revolution. And if the angle turned is 270 degree, it will be 3/4 of a revolution. Now first of all, we have to find out the angle turned. Now the hour hand starts at 3 and reaches at 9, and the movement is in the clockwise direction. So what is the angle turned here? The angle turned is a 180 degree. So what fraction of a revolution? What we can say? It will be half of a revolution. So the corresponding fraction is half. The fraction of a clockwise revolution, which is equal to half. We can find out the answer in another way also. Now what is the angle turned here? The angle turned is 180 degree. And what is the total angle in a revolution? The total angle in a revolution is 360. So the corresponding fraction will be 180 by 360. When you simplify, you will get the answer as 1/2. So we can say that it is half of a revolution. So the corresponding fraction is half. Now the second question. Four to 7. When the hour hand starts at 4 and moves to 7, what is the angle turned? The hour hand goes from 4 to 7, starts at 4 and goes to 7. What is the angle turned? Now look at that. How many hours are between 4 and 7? 1, 2, 3 hours. And if the number of hours between is 3, we can say that the angle turned will be 90 degree. That is, it will be a right angle turn. So find out the number of hours between. So you can see that there are 3 hours. 3 hours between 4 and 7, 4 to 7. How many hours are there? 3 hours. When the number of hours is 3, the angle turned will be a right angle. The angle turned will be a right angle. Therefore, here the angle turned is a right angle. So if the angle turned is right angle, the measure is 90 degree, it will be 1/4 of a revolution. So what is the corresponding fraction? The corresponding fraction is 1/4. Now we can find out this value in another way also. What is the angle turned here? The angle turned is 90 degree, and the total angle in a revolution is 360. Therefore, the corresponding fraction is 90 by 360. So when you simplify, you will get the answer as 1/4. Now the next one, 7 to 10. The hour hand goes from 7 to 10. 7, then 10. So what is the angle turned? What is the angle formed between these two rays? So how can you find out? Count the number of hours. 1, 2, 3. How many hours are there? 3 hours. Okay. So if you are getting the number of hours as 3, what is the angle turned? The angle turned will be 90 degree. The angle turned will be 90 degree. So if the angle turned is 90 degree, it will be 1/4 of a revolution. So here we can, the corresponding fraction is, here also it is 1/4 of the revolution. Next question. Where will the hand of a clock stop if it starts at 12 and makes half of a revolution clockwise? Where will the hand of a clock stop if it starts at 12? It starts at 12 and makes half of a revolution. So what is mean by half of a revolution? What is the angle turned in half of a revolution? The angle turned in half of a revolution is 180 degree, or we can say that 2 right angles. The angle turned will be 2 right angles. And suppose if the angle turned is 2 right angles, means you know that from 12 to 3, the angle turned will be 1 right angle. Then again from 3 to 6, the angle turned will be another right angle. So where will the hand of the clock will reach after making half of the revolution? It will be at 6. It will be at 6. Half of a revolution means 180 degree. So it will be a straight angle, and the straight angle, when it makes a straight angle, the hand of the clock will reach at 6. So what is the answer here? At 6. So where will the hand of the clock stop? The hand of the clock will stop at 6. Now next one, it starts at 5 and make 1/4 of the revolution clockwise. Here also the movement is in the clockwise direction. Okay, the movement is in the clockwise direction. Starts at 5. Starts at 5 and make 1/4 of the revolution. 1/4 of a revolution means what is the angle turned? The angle turned will be 90 degree. If the angle turned is 90 degree, how many hours it will pass? It will pass 3 hours, right? If the number of hours is 3, the angle turned will be 90 degree. Therefore, it will pass 3 hours. Okay. So, from 5 to 6, then 6 to 7, 7 to 8. So, where will it stop? It will stop at 8. Therefore, the hand of the clock stop at 8. It will stop at 8. So, we have to find out the angle turned. So, you have to remember 1/4 of a revolution means what is the angle turned? 1/4 of a revolution means the angle turned is 90 degree. So, if the angle turned is 90 degree and if the hand of the clock moves, the number of hours passed will be 3 hours. Okay. So, it starts at 5, when it passes 3 hours means it will reach at 8. So, the hand of the clock will stop at 8. Now, next question. Which direction will you face if you start facing east and make half of a revolution clockwise? So, we have to draw the 4 directions: north, south, west, east. Which direction will you face if you start facing east? That means you stand facing east. Then you have to take half of a revolution in the clockwise direction. Half of a revolution means what is the angle turned? The angle turned will be a straight angle. Okay, so you have to take a straight angle turn. So, what is the straight angle turn from east? Where will you reach? You will reach at west. Okay. So, which direction will you face if you start facing east and take half of a revolution clockwise? Half of a revolution means the angle turned will be a straight angle. Okay, the angle turned will be a straight angle, and if you take a straight angle turn, you will reach at west. So, what is the answer? So, you will reach west. Now, next. North, south, west, east. Okay. Now, you start facing east. Now, you are facing east and make 1.5 of a revolution. What is meant by 1.5 of a revolution? 1 revolution plus half revolution. 1 revolution plus half revolution. 1 revolution plus half revolution. Suppose you start from east. Okay, you are standing facing east. When you take a 1 revolution, where will you reach? 1 revolution means you have to make a 1 complete angle. 1 complete angle means you will reach at the east itself. Then from there you have to make a half revolution. Okay, from there you will reach here. Then from there you have to make a half revolution. So, where will you reach? When you take half revolution means you have to turn an angle of 180 degree. Therefore, you will reach, where will you reach? You will reach at west. You will reach at west. So, you start from east and after making 1.5 revolution clockwise, here also we have to do the movement in the clockwise direction, and where will you reach? 1.5 revolution means 1 revolution plus half revolution. 1 revolution means you have to turn 1 complete angle. Then from there you have to move again, you have to take half revolution. So, where will you reach? You will reach in the west. Therefore, the answer is west. Now, homework exercise 5.2, question number 1 D, second question B and D, and third question C and D. That's all for today's class. Thank you.